What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. So we've talked about game week 22 a little bit already, but what we're going to do now is take a look at a free hit draft that you can all use as a template or as your own team going into game week 22. We'll also talk about if you can't afford the squad that we're going to pull up on screen, what you could do, some other options that maybe aren't in this free hit draft and who you could pick. But let's dive straight into it. We are chasing 15k subscribers, so if you do enjoy the video and you want to like and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. But we start off with the subs for this team. So in goal, Foster. Now, we don't necessarily know if he's going to come straight back in, but the starting goalkeeper is going to play. Foster will be on the bench. I do think he's the best goalkeeper at Watford. They have a really nice set of fixtures against Newcastle and Burnley, both being away, but I do think Foster will come back into that team over Bachmann when he is fully fit. Cucurella and Loughton in defence, two cheap options that can sit and strengthen your bench when you need them. Hopefully we don't need our bench with a free hit team, but they are both having a double game week. Cucurella against Crystal Palace and Chelsea, and Loughton against Leicester and Watford. And the final one we've got is Dewsbury Hall of Leicester, Burnley and Tottenham in game week 22. He's looked really good, seems to be playing a lot with the injuries they've got at the moment, and I do expect him to still be in the team for both double game week 22 fixtures. It is a nice double. He is very cheap at 4.4 million, so it offers a good strength in depth that you can have in your squad, but also a few points potentially if he does come off your bench. But now into that starting lineup. First off, we have David De Gea of Manchester United, who has Aston Villa and Brentford. Now, Manchester United have been pretty poor the past couple of games, particularly from a defensive point of view. However, I do like their fixtures more than any other team in the double game week. Watford have nice fixtures, but I do not trust them even less than Manchester United from a defensive point of view. So David De Gea is in there. He is still good for bonus points. He's still good for the amount of saves that he makes. They did concede to Wolves, but he did still get 3 points, making 5 saves. So hopefully he can do that and get sort of 7, 8, even more up to 10 if they do keep a clean sheet in one of the two double game week fixtures. Into the defence, the first one we add is Reguilon of Tottenham. Now, Sessegnon is back from injury, so there is a chance that he is a slight rotation risk. However, he does seem to be the sort of most nailed Tottenham defender that we have at the moment. He didn't play in the first round of the Cup against Chelsea, so hopefully he's fully rested to play both the games in game week 22, because they are two big games for Tottenham against Arsenal and Leicester. He gets up and down that left-hand side very well, clean sheet potential, as well as that attacking threat they can offer with crosses into the box with shots on goal as well. Next up, we have Trent, our single game week player in defence. It is just too good a fixture for Trent to turn down. Brentford have really struggled in front of goal in recent weeks. Trent has been great for clean sheets, but also, of course, that attacking threat with goals and assists from set pieces, from open play. He's just too great an asset, and I don't love the defensive fixtures enough to back someone to outscore him, even though he only plays once. Next up, and finally in defence, we have Marcos Alonso. Again, Chelsea are very light at the back. Alonso has been good going forward. They haven't been keeping as many clean sheets, but it is a half-decent double. Manchester City is a tough game, of course, but then they do play Brighton. I do think there's a chance that Alonso gets some sort of returns in this double game week. I didn't want to go into this without a Chelsea defender on the free hit, so Alonso is the one that I've gone with because he's probably the most nailed to play both games and has the highest chance of attacking returns as well. So Alonso, Trent, Reguilon will be your starting back three. Cucurella and Loughton will be on the bench if they need to fill in. Into the midfield, the first one we add is Sancho. Now, please don't click off the video just yet. Hear me out. This could be a lot of other players, and we'll talk at the end about other players that could come into the place of Sancho for this free hit team. However, since game week 10, Sancho is the second highest scoring Manchester United attacker. Now, this isn't very difficult. I think he's had 3 attacking returns in that period, but I do think the way he's played in the past couple of games, he's finally starting to see that his role in the Manchester United team is slightly more nailed. Rashford, Greenwood don't really seem to be doing it. Bruno as well. I think Sancho will start, and as I said, they have a really nice double game week. You could downgrade him to other players, and we'll talk about who they are in a minute, but for now, Sancho is in there because we do have a lot of budget to spend now that Son is out injured. Next up, we have Jota, so the second and final single game week player that we have in this team. Brentford at home, again, I think there'll be a clean sheet, and I think there'll be goals. I predict Liverpool to win this game, probably 3-0, and a lot of people not playing their free hit will have these two, and it is a big risk if you don't own them. So I've not owned the likes of Bowen or Antonio, who also have a nice fixture at home to Leeds, but I have gone with Trent and Jota on the free hit because I do expect Liverpool to win comfortably, and these guys should likely be involved because there's no Salah, there's no Mane, so the weight of the team will likely fall on this duo. Next up, we have Maddison of Leicester. So to combine with Dewsbury Hall, Burnley and Tottenham, he looks like he's back fit. He looks like he's going to be available to play for Leicester in game week 22 and back to full fitness. He is one of the main creative and goal-scoring threats at the moment, given the injuries that they have up front and the African Cup of Nations issues that they have as well in their attack. So Maddison is in there. He won't be on penalties, but he is on a lot of set pieces and plays very far forward from open play. If Harvey Barnes is back fit, he could also come in here. But for the time being, Maddison is the first Leicester midfielder that we've got. I've said first because we have another Leicester midfielder in this lineup, which is Lookman. Now, he comes in a lot cheaper at 6 million and seems to be playing very well. 2 goals in his past 2, seems to be finding his feet in that Leicester lineup. With the injuries, as I said, seems to be starting each and every week. He's a very good cheap enabler with a nice double game week. Burnley away and then Tottenham at home. If it was the other way around and it was Burnley at home, Tottenham away, it wouldn't be as nice a double, but they're playing the hard team at home, which means I think it gives Leicester a bit of a boost in that fixture, and then who knows what they could do against Burnley in that first fixture. So Lookman and Maddison to combine with Dewsbury Hall in what is actually a Leicester triple up in midfield to join Jota and Sancho. You will of course be benching Dewsbury Hall and starting a midfield 4. Up front, the first one, you couldn't have a free hit team without at least one Watford forward in there. We've gone with Dennis. Newcastle and Burnley. It's probably the best double game week from an attacking point of view. Dennis has been on great form. He looks like he's going to be fine to play in game week 22. Worth keeping an eye on because you could go to King if he isn't going to be available. He hasn't gone to the African Cup of Nations, so he is available. It's a great run of form he's on and a great double game week as well. Now, next to him, we've got Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, he hasn't been on that great form, but of course, if you're on a free hit, Ronaldo has a double game week. There's no Son, there's no Salah. Of course, Ronaldo is going to be in your team. Aston Villa and Brentford. Hopefully, he doesn't start in the Cup at the weekend. Well, he may do, but either way, I'm pretty sure that he's going to start both matches in game week 22. There was no doubt he was going to be in there. Yes, Manchester United have not been great recently, but I do expect a bounce back after they lose a game like they did against Wolves. And the final forward we've got is Harry Kane. So we have gone big up front. Kane has Arsenal and Leicester. So again, he does like a goal against Arsenal, and Leicester have been very leaky defensively so far this season. So I think there's a chance, given the form that Kane is in recently, and there's no Son, there's going to be a lot of weight on his shoulders to score the goals in game week 22 until Son does come back. I do like the possibility that he can get. He's a big differential because a lot of people who aren't on their free hit won't own Kane. A lot of them will be looking at Ronaldo. A lot of them will be looking at Dennis, the Leicester mids. But Kane is one that I think will pass a lot of people by going into game week 22. So that is the starting lineup. But let's have a look now at how it will actually line up with the bench. So of course, as we mentioned, Dewsbury Hall, Cucurella and Loughton will be the 3 that we bench going into game week 22. A starting lineup of a 3-4-3, Alonso, Trent, Reguilon, Lookman, Maddison, Jota, Sancho, Kane, Ronaldo and Dennis. Now this is very close to my maximum budget, and there are a few of you who may not be able to afford this quite yet. So let's have a look at how you could downgrade this squad if you can't quite squeeze this full 11 into your team. So, Reguilon is the first one I think we could downgrade. Down to Davies, down to Emerson. Other Spurs defenders. I do like their fixtures, and I do think Davies and Emerson will also play both of the games. Reguilon has probably got the most attacking threat, but you could downgrade there. You could also downgrade Cucurella, who's in there as a Brighton option. You could go down to Veltman, for example, who is a lot cheaper. But the other clear and obvious way that you could downgrade is Sancho. The 2 that I've pulled out are Mason Mount and Lucas Moura of Tottenham. Without Son there, I do really like Lucas Moura. He seems to be playing every game, and without Son, I think that's even more nailed to do so. Mason Mount has been great for Chelsea. It is potentially a difficult double game week from an attacking point of view against Manchester City and Brighton, both of which have been good defensively. But Sancho down to Mount, given he's on set pieces and given he seems to be playing every game in the league for Chelsea at the moment, is definitely something you could do. So with that in mind, this is the free hit team that I've gone with. You could downgrade Reguilon, you could downgrade Sancho, or you could downgrade Cucurella on your bench if you can't afford it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your questions going into game week 22 in the comment section down below. Enjoy the weekend off watching the FA Cup. If I don't see you before then, there will be live streams, more videos of course. Please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you get a reminder of all the videos and live streams before the game week 22 deadline and throughout the season. But that's all we've got time for, and I'll be back again very soon.